So the movie begins when this gang of Jimmys are bullying a kid, and this dude named Christo Jimmy, basically the head. And basically, Christo Jimmy tells this kid that if he wants to survive, he has to fight one of his gang members, the Jimmys, and if he actually kills him, he'll survive. If not, he's going to charity. But then the kid is lucky and stabs the guy in the thigh in one of his arteries, and the guy dies. Jimmy Cristo and the rest don't care, apart from his best friend who's going to exact revenge on the kid. But bro, this nigga's bored. Part of to this dude in the woods who's getting chased by a bunch of nude zombies, and then after that some big zombie, which is going to be known as Samson, catches up to him and sees him like a zombie. Ironic, right? Then he catches him and rips his head off. We are introduced to this old guy busy singing. Sings in the following way according to what I heard. The diamonds I don't know if it's me, but that's what I heard. But his horrible singing attracts this Samson zombie dude, which he hits with a neutralizer thing and removes the arrows out of its body. After neutralizing it, he sits down with the zombie and starts discussing with it about life and situations and stuff. And then the most unbelievable thing this doctor does is that he ends up doing a dance with this zombie. I won't lie, I'm either a very perverted spoiled person, but this felt mob gay. Then these two are house crushed by the Jimmy group because they just felt like doing it.
Son of a bitch!
Then after that, these guys eat this guy's food. They serve them like they are actual noble guests, even when they don't deserve to be served in that manner. And then the girl starts dancing in some. The chick starts dancing in some weird Turkish way because they're reminiscing about the Teletubbies. Freaking weird way. Basically, in simple terms, these guys just remind me of some guys like in my own high school. You know these weird kids who do weird, these cool kids who do weird stuff. Not so much weird, but they are still weird stuff, and they are still considered cool, and they still think what they do is cool. That's how it felt like here. After Jimmy Cristo realizing that the family does not want him to be here, he decides that he's going to kill them. But then this guy pours on them boiling hot water, and they're able to apprehend the family, and he sends Jimmy Inc. to find Old Nick. They are superior, according to him. Then she assumes that she has found Old Nick, who's the old man dancing with the naked zombie. A whole thing that brings back the Old Nick thing. Old Nick thing is basically, according to Jimmy Cristo, their leader, called Satan. So whenever they try to go out of line, since he's a Satanist and believes in Satan, he always says, I wonder what my father, Old Nick, basically Satan, will do. And he believes that it's the zombie apocalypse that was sent by him, and God basically gave up on the earth and just let the virus and the demons to come upon the earth, and now it's basically the kingdom of Old Nick, basically Satan. And the way he's able to keep these guys continue doing what he wants and commit murders on his merits is by threatening them with the Old Nick thing, that if you don't obey, since Old Nick is one and only son, Satan, you will die. That's how he has been able to manipulate them, which makes no fucking sense. How would they be able to believe in such an idiot? Then the doctor decides to end Samson because he believes the medicine will wear off within 2 weeks, and he goes back to a regular zombie. To realize Samson says moon. So like, what? That means he's actually recovered. Then we go back to the apprehended family by the Jimmys, and then Jimmy sees one of the guys and is all like, okay, do you know what? If you can choose a part of all my group and fight any Jimmy you want. But if you win, he will join the Jimmys. You will join the Jimmys. If you don't win, you'll be offered off to charity. So this idiot decides to choose this girl who's seated down. And I don't know how many movies this nigga hasn't yet watched, but if you see a person who looks the weakest in the group, you just know they're the strongest. Automatic bet, no questions asked. So just when his ass is getting whooped bad style by the weak looking girl, she ends up getting killed, luckily. And these Jimmys all panic and the whole place burns down. But then they send their newest recruit, the other boy who they were bullying at first and then turned into a Jimmy, to go and kill the pregnant lady since she was pregnant. And the guy decides not to do it and instead asks the lady if he could join her and they go away from here because he didn't like being around a bunch of crazy people who are always murdering people randomly because they feel like it for. Can I run away? Seriously, please. I'm thinking about it. Hell no! Move your ass. Bye. And the Jimmys go to spy on the doctor, thinking that he's old neck, so that Jimmy Crystal can talk to him or his father Satan. Then the doctor tells him that it was actually a virus that caused it, bacteria and all of that stuff, not Satan. Then Jimmy Crystal is finding it pretty hard to believe since in his own life, and if he knows it wasn't true, it was just a manipulating tactic for the whole group so that they remained by his side. But then after that, Jimmy Crystal is able to talk to the old doctor that if he does not help him to fulfill the lie that he made up to his gang, then the doctor will end up in some pretty type shit. So the doctor agrees to it and he goes back to his gang saying, only I can speak to him because I'm his one and chosen son. Oh, nigga, shut the fuck up. But then the kid tries to escape the next morning and is attacked by a zombie and is able to actually successfully kill it and defend himself. But then he's attacked by another Jimmy who still has a beef on him killing his best friend, or as he assumes. But then Jimmy Inc. comes in and stabs him to death and he dies. So we are taken aback to Samson, who's starting to remember who he is, his childhood, and how he was interested in space and all that stuff. And how he was asked by a woman for a ticket, but then realizing that zombies have surrounded him and he has to fight them. Jimmy and his remaining gang who haven't died. By the way, we recognize that from the beginning, Jimmy started losing members. Well, I think this is a pretty good sign to show if you form things with bad intentions to hurt other people, that society or that group, whatever you form, will eventually collapse on you. So yeah. But then after that, Jimmy arrived at night time to meet old Neko, basically his dad, Satan, and this guy does a pretty good job of pretending to be one. Puts on rock music, says 666, jumps around, and these guys behave as if they're in a whole new place and concert. Even he puffs in them what cocaine, some drug to make it seem. Then the part comes for Satan or Odnek to give instructions on what they're supposed to do with Jimmy Crystal, his one and only beloved son. And he first gives the first commandment that you should do whatever Jimmy Crystal wants to do. And then as they're leaving, he realizes there's a fucking miner who's not supposed to be in this group at all. And he says, one more wish. Then this guy looks at him and he's like, what the fuck are you trying to do here? Isn't one commandment already enough? Following me, they should follow me without any questions or demand. And he's all like, no. My other consent is that, do you know like how Jesus Christ, God the Father, sent his only son Jesus Christ to die for our sins, for mankind's sins? Now you're supposed to do the same, but the crucifix or the cross is not supposed to be upright. It's supposed to be upside down, symbolizing the devil's sign. That's what he's supposed to do as a son. And the group is supposed to put you on that cross. Then this chick started smiling her ass off. She was waiting for this day, I swear. But then Jimmy stabs the old man to prove that he's not actually Satan and they should not obey him. So what's the whole point? If he was lying and he knew that, why should I still follow if I was a sensible person? So after a massive struggle fight with Jimmy Crystal, they're able to crucify him and these two walk away to start their new lives. Then, as he's on the cross, Samson arrives to check on the doctor, and this guy sees him as the devil. Then, this guy carries away the doctor after dying, and as he's shouting, Father, you have forsaken me, Father, you have forsaken me. These guys are like, shut your hell up, nigga. Then we're introduced to this father and daughter duo. The daughter is studying for an exam that the dad had set in a zombie apocalypse. It still matters education. And Jimmy Inc. and the boy are being chased, and these two go to rescue them, ending the movie there. So that was 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Pretty amazing movie. I loved it. I actually didn't expect it to be that interesting, but it was interesting. And hope maybe they release another part as long as they're not fucking it up. You get? But the movie was so great. It was so nice. And the lessons you can pick up from this movie is that don't be a total douchebag. Treat everybody nicely like I would want to be treated. We all need each other. And yeah, always have a good positive mindset and don't try to manipulate people. And I'm not sure you should follow people who follow satanic imagery or who consider some dark evil force as their daddy. And don't be too deceivable, delusional, because I even don't believe how those guys were able to believe that guy's bullshit. And how the fuck were they able to survive? Anyways, they are raiding places. It seems they are raiding places, raiding people, killing and stuff. Like, that was their routine. I think that's how they were able to survive. But basically, that was 28 years. Bone Temple. That was a movie for you. If you're able to watch until the end, thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Mostly subscribe and comment, please. It's your boy ZM, and always be happy.